Clinker Factor, the cement industry podcast.
Welcome to the Clinker Factor, a podcast from WCA, which looks at the cement industry's response to climate change around the world and other topics of interest. I'm Ian Riley, CEO of WCA, and your host on the Clinker Factor. Today, I'm talking to Tang Jun, Vice President of Huaxin Cement. Huaxin is one of China's largest cement companies with a capacity of over 100 million tons per year of cement, and is one of the largest shareholders. The largest shareholder is Huaxin. Huaxin has been one of the real pioneers in setting up operations outside China with plants in Central Asia, Southeast Asia, the Middle East, and Africa. And Huaxin has also been a pioneer in the field of information technology. They were the first cement company in China to install SAP back in 2006 and have been at the leading edge of information innovation. This year, Huaxin won the WCA Award for Innovation for the use of artificial intelligence at one of the plants in Yunnan, which was specifically addressed at one of the priorities that Huaxin have, which is addressing or increasing the use of alternative fuels. So Tang Jun, welcome to the podcast. I wonder if we could just kick off by asking you to introduce yourself and how you came to be working in the cement industry.
Okay, sounds good. I'm Jun Tang or Tang Jun, either way. Tang Jun is the Chinese way to say my name, but Jun Tang is the regular Western way to say my name. But either way, I've been working in the technology field for over the past 30 years. I had early career with IBM in China. Then 95 to 2009, I spent about 14 years working and studying in the United States. I was working as executive consultant to help companies with their information technology and the digital transformation. 2009, I went back to China. I had my own company. It's a technology company working in the touch screen area. We were the top two suppliers in the world. In 2015-16, I successfully sold my company to some other shareholders and finally get some free time. That's when I had this opportunity to join Huaxin. So I joined Huaxin in 2019, and since then it has been an exciting journey for me. Huaxin from 2019 to 2024 went through a lot of changes. One of the main things is to increase the TSR of their cement plants from about 5% to over 20%. This year we have the target of 25%. Now, it seems not so difficult to achieve TSR of 25% for the Western countries because they have very mature supply chain for the RDF and AFR. But it's actually quite difficult for China and most of the developing countries to use RDF and AFR to reduce their coal consumptions to increase the TSR. The whole reason is the RDF classifications, the process is not well established in the cities, even though the cities are growing very fast in China. People use the very old-fashioned way to process their RDF or trash or these type of things. They bury them, and they cause a lot of environmental problems. And Huaxin is the first to realize not only we can use that, we can use RDF to reduce our cost, but also can help the environment, can help the cities to solve their environmental problems. So in 2008, Huaxin already started to working on the technology, to process RDF. However, since the RDF in China is not well organized, processed, categorized, it is very difficult to process in the cement manufacturing, the whole process. One of the things is it introduced a lot of turbulence, variations into the whole controlling process. One of the key things for cement plant is to keep the temperature stable in the kiln. To do that, they have a lot of pre-homogenization process for coal, for the raw material, so that the whole process is stable. But it is very difficult to do that for RDF. And this is what we are trying to do in Huaxin since 2008. We came a long way from the very beginning that we don't know a whole lot. We only have this idea. We try to learn from our friends outside of the countries, to learn from other cement plants. And we found out, because of the unique situation in China, it doesn't work that well. It didn't work that well. So we had to come up with our own process to do that. For the past almost 15 years, Huaxin not only is able to process RDF and AFR these days, but also have established a whole chain of process from the raw material to semi-dry, can be used RDF. And also we have our own special fleet to transfer the RDF, from the main city to the location, which is normally outside of the city, to our location of our plant.
So if I could just jump in there, Tang Jun, I think we should also explain a couple of things to our listeners. One is, when we talk about RDF in Europe, generally speaking, we're thinking about something that is just the light fraction of the waste. So the RDF in Europe is primarily wood, paper, plastics.
Oh.
And so it has a very high heat value and low moisture. Whereas what you're dealing with in China is essentially the whole of municipal waste. It has a very high organic content, very high moisture content. It's harder to burn. It's more difficult to handle. So this is really a different kind of fuel from the RDF that many of our listeners will be thinking about. And I think the other thing also, bearing in mind the challenge of increasing the TSR rate, is that in China, the cement consumption per capita is very high. So there's a lot more cement chasing the same amount of waste, if you can think about it in that way. So the challenge to get to the kind of levels that we see in Europe of 50, 60, 70% TSR is much tougher in China, given the very high levels of per capita cement consumption. So I think these are two sort of important context from the standpoint of the challenges that Huaxin is trying to address. Before we get on to the Chongde project and what you did there, I wonder if you could also say something from the standpoint of how Huaxin has developed its information technology capabilities over the years, because I think that must be an important foundation for this project.
Yes, first of all, thank you for clearing out the difference between China and Europe in terms of the quality and the type of RDF we have. To talk about the Huaxin's development of IT technology, the development of using IT technology, it has been a tradition and a culture for Huaxin to use advanced technologies to help them to deal with not only the manufacturing process, but also the business process. So we had, we are the first cement company in China to implement SAP, and we also based on SAP, we have established the BSC, the Business Sharing Center, to standardize our business operations. That really helped Huaxin to grow from one small plant in a rural area to nowadays multi-location, multi-plants. We have over 300 companies, about 60 cement plants in the world these days. And lately, when we have the AI capability, which is very difficult for a cement company to obtain in China, we actually have a group of people working on AI. We use AI, we use cloud computing, we use the large data analysis to resolve our business and our manufacturing problems. And Huaxin has a tradition to do that. I would say it's mainly because Mr. Li Yeqing, our CEO, is very keen on using the latest technology. He has been a CEO for over past 25 years. So that really helped us to get funding to set up the organization so we can study AI, study the latest technology here.
So I think one of the challenges that companies face, perhaps with a different background from Huaxin, is they have different information systems that are not connected together. You know, that the SAP is not integrated with the TIS and so on. And I think this is probably one of the challenges that companies face. But in Huaxin, this kind of foundation, I think, was already built before you started the project we're going to talk about today in Yunnan, right?
Yes, yes. We actually have done a lot of things in the field of IT industry. We not only have SAP, we were the first to move SAP to cloud computing in China, and we are also the first to use AI to address to analyze data and to help make business decisions in the industry. And when I joined Huaxin back in 2019. It was quite difficult for us to acquire AI talents because most of them, they don't like working in a cement plant. They want to work in the technology companies. I feel like we had a lot of support to attract those talents. We also had a lot of projects for them to show their potentials and to actually address the real life business problems, which is quite difficult to do.
Yeah. So I think that sort of painted a picture of the background of the company. So perhaps we could move on to the Chongde project. And what was the objective of the project? What was the problem that you were trying to address?
Well, we working on the Chongde plant is actually a new plant. We built the plant back in 2019. At that time, there's really no need for us to reduce the cost by improving our TSR. At that time, the whole cement industry was in the golden age. Everybody was happy. Everyone was making good money. But Mr. Li Yeqing has the vision that one day we need to address the cost issue, which actually happened in 3 years later and much sooner than most people would expect. So we started working on the Kunming Chongde cement project. We want to see if we can use APC. At that time, initially we want to use APC to increase the TSR. From the low, like say 5% to like say 20%. We didn't have ambitious goal at that time because the business environment didn't require us to do that. We chose this new factory because it has the latest technology, all the good equipment. We thought it could make things easier, but we were wrong. For every new plant, it takes about 2 years to actually smooth out all the bugs and all the issues in the manufacturing process. And those things actually introduce a lot of turbulence, a lot of variations in the control system. And with those things, it's actually quite difficult to use APC to stabilize the whole process.
And Tang Jun, sorry, for the APC you were using, was that a third-party APC, or was that one that Huaxin had developed?
Yeah, it was a third-party APC. I don't want to mention the name, but
okay, yep.
It's an American-built APC. It has been in the field for 30 years. It's quite mature and it's stable. People use that in the chemical industry, I think, and it's a proven technology. It works very well over there, but some of Chinese plants try to use them, and they claim they have success to use APC in their plants. But when we try to use the APC it's actually MPC, one of the APC, which is more advanced, multi-layer processing control. So we used the MPC there, and we didn't get the results we like. We have this utilization rate we use to identify the maturity of our technology. For example, if the autopilot mode can be run 80% of the time, which means the operators think 80% of the time they can let the process run by itself. But the other 20%, they don't think it works that well. So the human operator will jump in and intervene. And we can achieve probably 80% of the utilization rate, which is not ideal. We want the utilization rate to be above 90%, because 20% we cannot really free out our operators to work on the critical issues. But when we reach 90%, not only we can free the operators, we can actually increase the amount of RDF we use in the process to increase the TSR. There's one more thing about the the unique characteristic of RDF in China is an AFR, is that we may not have the availability of large amount of the same type of AFR in China. So sometimes we have mixed match, different type of, AFRs to use to achieve our TSR. So that's adding another factors we need to consider.
So you needed the system to be able to cope not only with the variations within the AFR, but also varying types of AFR that were being used.
That's right. Yeah. So we pretty much hit the wall by using that APC. We can only get about 80%, but we want to be able to achieve over 80, close to 90%. So what we do is we, use our AI technology. We tried that. It didn't work well with the APC. We realized we need to rewrite the APC. At a certain point of time, we were ready to, set up our team to rewrite the APC by ourselves, which was considered crazy for some of the people there.
I can understand that.
But this is Huaxin. We always do things by ourselves. We have some really ambitious goals. So luckily, we didn't improve. It turns out we don't have to do that ourselves. At that time, Alibaba just came out the beta version of MPC. They didn't know who would use it because the MPC area, there are a lot of mature products, APC. There's a lot of APC solutions. There's the Pavilion 8. There is, we say that Q2. But either way, there are a lot of APC products available in the market. So when they came out with this beta version, they asked people who want to use it, and it just happened. We were like, oh, we're ready to write the APC ourselves. But if you have a beta version, we can try as long as you would modify your APC based on our requirement. They are open to the idea. So we start working together, and our AI team, our developers, and their researchers work together, to address different issues there. But let me just give you the result, so to skip all the up and downs for the whole process. In the end, we were able to achieve 95% of the utilization rate. We were able to get, at that time, we got the TSR to 20%, but our latest TSR for one of other plant in Chongqing area is 60%, which set a new record for Chinese, cement plants.
Yeah, so congratulations on that. And that's using the same system, is it?
Yeah, same system, same, the low carbon cement manufacturing process, Huaxin has been using for over 25 plants.
So if you look at this this project, and obviously very successful in achieving the goals that you were talking about of increasing the TSR rate and increasing the utilization of the APC system, what are the learnings that other companies could take away from this in terms of how to plan and how to execute an AI project?
Well, before I say the key factors, let me give you the background. We worked together with Alibaba. We were successful, to reach really high TSR. So Alibaba tried to, of course, try to sell their, solutions to other cement companies, and it didn't work that well. So they came back to us and said, "What's the secret?" I would say the secret is the people we have here. We have a very good team across multiple technology fields. We have the automation control guys. We have the AI team. We have programmers. We have supporting plans. They are very helpful to allow us to actually control the whole process, by our people, so that we can really look into the data. We can really look into how to generate high quality of the data, to rule out the noise, to really focus on the important factors. So I would say the most important thing is the team, is the people we have in Huaxin. I can't say enough about how great they are. And the technology itself is one thing, but the teamwork across organizations, across the plants is the key factor for our success. And also the culture, I would say, the innovative culture, setting ambitious goal, the habit of setting really ambitious goal. The culture here is quite supportive for us to launch any innovative projects here.
So I think those are very critical functions not only on, or critical factors not only on AI projects, but on all projects, right? And this, I'm sure you're absolutely right to highlight the need for expertise and alignment across different departments and different parts of the organization, and then this culture of innovation to achieve ambitious goals as being absolutely the foundation of project success, whether it's an AI project or a new plant or any other kind of project. But if you look at the AI project in particular, are there some lessons there in terms of how to plan and execute the project that you think are also general learnings that other companies should bear in mind?
Yeah, there are some tricks we can we can share with others. The quality of data, that's the most important thing from the technical point of view. The quality of data in the cement industry is not as good as AI wants to have. So we need to clean up the data. I mean, simple term. We need to say that needs the human intervention there. It's called the supervised machine learning. People would come in to say, okay, this is good data. We can use this data. And then we feed data to the AI. We use the decision trees and the random forest. We use neural networking, all these popular AI tools, AI models to analyze the data to get the response. We got the response factors of different inputs and outputs. Because in the end, the code control model is multiple inputs with multiple outputs, and they all connected together. And there's also a feedback loops, a very large feedback loops in the whole manufacturing process. It's difficult to get real good quality of data. That's why we have our, the digital team. The operators from our digital team, actually, he has the operator background, and he also learned the AI, he also learned the automation program. So he ran the whole process for a whole week. During the week, our AI team and would look at data, and he will point out, what are the good data we can use. In the end, to increase the quality of data proves to be the most important factor for AI to build up the good response model. And also, in those things, I would say most of the AI models are quite mature. We only need to pick out the right AI models to use. But the bottom line is, with the quality, with good data, we can find out which model works better and how to tune the AI model. So I would say focus on getting good data, clean up the data, increase the quality of the data. That's the foundation.
Yeah, no, I think that makes absolute sense. So if I can just sort of summarize, then in addition to the factors we just talked about on the team and the culture, then data quality and using supervised machine learning to help improve the data quality is really the foundation of the AI project. And what you've demonstrated, I think, in this project in terms of what AI can do for a cement company is you've made the APC system work effectively so that it's on full automation 95% of the time. And as a result of that, you were able to increase the TSR, achieving, if you like, the business target that you had for the project. So is that a fair summary, Tang Jun?
That's a very good summary.
Okay, that's great. And do you have a savings or a cost savings that you can ascribe to the project? Is that something that you're able to estimate?
We have different cost savings from for different TSRs. For the Chongde cement, our TSR was about 20%, and the thermal consumption is about reduce the thermal consumption by 10%. So we actually reduce the cost. We have the whole thing there, not only the APC portion, we have the quality control portion, we have the equipment optimization, and all the systems work together. We can increase the clinker consumption coefficient. We reduced the clinker consumption coefficient by about 5%. So all, we reduced the cost by about 15% over there, which is quite remarkable.
It's very substantial. Yeah, very substantial. Yeah, well, congratulations on an excellent project. I mean, both innovative and successful, which is not a combination you always see.
It is quite difficult to do such innovative projects in China, I can tell you that.
Excellent. Well, Tang Jun, it's been a pleasure to talk about the project today. And thank you very much for joining me.
Oh, okay. The pleasure is all mine. And thank you for having me.
Thanks for listening to the Clinker Factor podcast today. If you've enjoyed it, do subscribe and please recommend us to friends and colleagues and anyone else who you think would be interested in what's happening in the cement and concrete industry around the world. WCA is a not-for-profit company. Please visit our website to see the services that we offer